Hey YouTube, it's Erin, and I am the Handbag Housewife, and I'm back again with another video. Today is part 2 about the new Denim Tabby 26 that I just recently acquired from Coach. So in the first video where I unboxed it and showed it to you, I kind of ran out of time because there's so much information to unpack regarding this new bag. And so I figured I would do a follow-up today because I wanted to show you how things fit compared to the Gucci Marmont bags that I have, as well as do a side-by-side comparison with my Chanel Classic flap. I also have some more thoughts with regards to the comfort of the bag. It turns out that if you pack it slightly differently, and I'm going to show you how, the comfort increases substantially. And there's also another little thing that I wanted to show you in relation to the shape of the bag. It can actually be different depending on how you put your items into it, and that can drastically affect how it feels, at least in my opinion. On top of all that, I would like to talk about quality control with these quilted tabbies by Coach, because I am hearing, and I've personally now experienced some issues with the quality of these bags. So I'd like to tap into that just a little bit too, and weigh in on the price point as well. So here is the new bag, and I do have it loaded up, although this one I think is going to be returned. I have a new one coming. Coach overnighted a new one to me, so it should be here on Tuesday. They've already got it boxed up. I've got the tracking number, but it just hasn't been picked up yet, and it will be picked up, I believe, tomorrow. So all the tags are still attached to this bag. The issue I have with this one, and this is going to get straight into the quality control issues, is that there is a defect in the way the leather is wrapped around the C, and I'll also insert a close-up picture of this so you can see better. And after the video that I did showing this for the first time, I found out that there's also kind of some additional wrinkling or defectiveness on this other side, and I'll insert a picture of that as well right here as we're talking about it. And so for that reason, I want to get a different one. And so fingers crossed that the replacement is every bit as good as this one with a better C. And one of the reasons why I say fingers crossed is because, at least with the leather quilted tabbies, there have been some quality issues that have come to light. And a lot of it has to do with these grommets popping off. Some of it also has to do with how the leather is constructed around the edge of the flap here. There's like waviness in some of them, and there's bunching here. And I think with the denim being distressed like it is, you're a lot less likely to see these lines here as you would be with the leather, and they just sort of blend in, which is a good thing. The other thing I discovered when I was watching a TikTok video and one of the other things I discovered when I was watching a TikTok video is that apparently the leather ones have like a piece of hard material that runs like across here. And I don't have a leather one, I haven't felt it, but the denim one appears to be all one solid piece, at least as far as I can feel from the inside. I'm not feeling a solid piece of material that starts like right here and goes across. And if there's a way for me to link that TikTok video, I will. I don't want to say, I know the person's first name, but I'm not sure she reveals it in the TikTok video. So I don't want to infringe upon her privacy, but if I can, I will, because she has a very insightful review on the Leather Quilted Tabby 26. And so the fact that this one doesn't have a hard piece that's dividing it like right here, that may lead to the flap being a little nicer and a little flatter. I guess we can only hope that that's the case over time, but that is one of the differences that I noticed. So if you look at the older style, the original style of the Tabby 26, they basically dented in right here. They had a hard piece in the front with glazing around it. They had a hard piece on the back with glazing around it. And then the leather caved in on the sides. I had one of those before I started my YouTube channel, and I really couldn't fit all my items inside comfortably. And what I carry may have changed somewhat, but this bag, with it having the rounded sides like it does, very much like the Pillow Tabby, it holds more, and I think it holds more than the Pillow Tabby, at least in terms of being able to mask what's inside, because since the Pillow Tabby didn't have any quilting, even though there was less subdivision inside, it didn't really conceal what was on the inside of the bag quite as well. You ended up getting stress points right here if you overfilled the Pillow Tabby 26. Even though this bag has subdivisions in it, I feel like it holds a decent amount. Now, you have to take advantage of the interior organization and not put organizers and things like that inside to take advantage of what Coach has provided you, which is nice because you're not paying extra to make the bag work. Now, you might ask, what do you mean, make the bag work? Well, let's enter Exhibit A. I have with me my Gucci Marmont bag, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by making the bag work. First of all, let's talk about opening it, since that's the first thing we're going to do. The Gucci Marmont has a little button right here on the bottom, and you push it and it clicks open. That can lead to issues with scratching around here if you're not careful, especially if you have fingernails. I think the design of the Coach bag being able to be just pulled open is really nice. I do hope that the mechanism inside here that kind of grabs on to this is able to withstand the test of time, and only time will show that. But as far as ease of getting in and out, at least brand new, this is better than that Gucci Marmont. There is another YouTuber who reviewed the Tabby 20 in leather, and it is LB. And in her video, her black 26 that was quilted stopped opening all the time. Like, she couldn't get in and out of it easily. So that is something to worry about with this bag as well. So once I get inside, you can see I have an organizer, and this is an organizer from before I started working with Zumani. It is from a company called Joy and Bag on Etsy. I do think she makes very nice inserts, not better than Zumani by any means, but very nice. So I'm going to set that to the side. And in the bottom there, I have an M Boutique base shaper. When I take the organizer and the base shaper out of this bag, it has no structure whatsoever. So if you look, I can squeeze here and the bag doesn't collapse. And so that is what you want. I mean, a little bit of collapsing is okay, but you don't want to budge. So if I take this out and I squeeze, I mean, look what happens. It totally flattens. Even the sides totally flatten. Now, when the new quilted Denim Tabby is emptied, and I squeeze like this, it doesn't immediately collapse on the sides, although you do get some bottoming out in the center without anything inside it. So here it is with the M Boutique base shaper back inside. And again, I do link M Boutique in all my videos, and the coupon code is HBHW12 for 12% off if you should want to get one. I think they're very helpful in a lot of my bags. And then when I put the insert back inside, or the organizer, it just firms it up all that much more and makes it very nice. So considering I think this bag needs those things to keep its shape and keep looking nice and new, when I weigh this bag with those two things inside, it is 1 pound and 8.5 ounces. When I weigh this bag with nothing inside but what she came with, she is 1 pound and 10 ounces. So she's heavier, completely empty, and that's why I don't think I would add anything to the inside of this bag besides just my belongings. I think if you start adding too much, then the comfort level is going to decrease substantially. When I wear this on my shoulder, if I put my phone in the back, and when I say wear this, I mean just trying it on in my closet, because I'm going to exchange this one, assuming the one I get as a replacement is better. We can cross our fingers. It's coming Tuesday, if I didn't say that already. But if I put my phone in this back pocket, the bag becomes very bulbous, and it is not as comfortable under my arm. And because of how my arm goes out just a little more, it puts more pressure on my shoulder and it is less comfortable to me. By doing one quick thing, and that was moving my phone into the middle right there. And I also tried it in this front pocket. And again, that makes it a little bit more bulbous again under my arm. So I decided to use the front pocket just for my glasses cleaning cloth and an extra card that wouldn't fit in my card holder. By putting it in there, it's not only easier access than the front pocket because there's only one flap to open, but it sort of gets absorbed into the cushion of the bag. And for that reason, you're able to kind of put your arm down and compress the top more so than you would be able to otherwise. And one of the reasons the Marmont is so comfortable for me is because it is wider at the bottom and narrower at the top. And when you look at these bags, the new Quilted Tabby is very similar on the top in width as it is on the bottom. In large part, I think due to the double flap, which does help keep the structure of the bag, so it does have its strong points. So if I put the bag on my shoulder like this, and the phone is not pushing it out just that much more, being in the back pocket or the front pocket, today it is not hurting my shoulder. I don't hardly notice it more than any other bag, so I do find it comfortable. For me though, just putting that phone in the outside pocket made a big difference. I think that wearing it like this, it's about the same. I mean, I don't expect a bag that has chain and no leather break to be as comfortable as the leather break that I just showed you on the Gucci Marmont. Actually, I didn't just show it to you, but the Gucci Marmont has this long leather break, and so when wearing it, you really just cannot beat this bag crossbody with this bag because the chain is just not comparable to a long flat strip of leather. But on the shoulder, it's pretty close because even though the Gucci Marmont has a long leather break, it also still has this chain that's going to be on your shoulder. The chain may be just ever so slightly more comfortable than the Coach because it is a flatter chain, and the Coach chain is more rounded since it does have that leather woven into it. It's got a lot of texture that could potentially push up against you. But while my initial impressions made me feel like this bag really wasn't super comfortable, it is much better by just repositioning the phone. So the other thing, people are unhappy with all of the divisions inside of this bag, and I don't mind it. I do a lot of times, but in this situation, I am okay with it. And let me just show you how all of this fits inside the Gucci Marmont with my organizer in there. And then hopefully that'll illustrate to you how well everything fits in this bag. And it's also very easy to find everything because of how it's laid out. So we've got my pouch and everything mostly goes here in the middle. Key fob and my tied to go stick. I usually kind of stick the key fob down at one end and it'll stay there once I have more stuff inside. We have a comb and an AirPods case. We have the stack of gift cards, and if you want to see me put everything into the Quilted Tabby, I'll link the initial video down below so you can go check it out. Here is the pouch I keep my medicine in, and I'm just throwing everything into the middle of the Gucci. People really like bags to be completely open on the inside, and so I'm going to show you how it looks with a bag that is completely open versus what I just showed you. So I think I've got everything in there and it's sort of jumbled. It's not as organized, and I might have to just pull a few things around to get it to look even on both sides. My phone is not yet in there, so let's put that inside too. So I ended up just sort of laying the phone on top because of the dimensions of the bag. If I tuck it in, I think it's going to bulge. So everything is inside of there, just like it was in the Denim Quilted Tabby. And if you look inside, getting to what I need, it's sort of messy in comparison. And so that is an advantage for the subdivision. The disadvantage to me is the weight, because the weight of that organizer and the base shaper, I think, is less than the Tabby would have weighed had they not put that organization inside and then you had to do it yourself like I've done with this bag. So now that I have the Tabby empty, let me just show you. See, it does bottom out there. But again, once you have your stuff inside, it doesn't hardly do it at all. And then on the sides, there's enough structure that when I pinched with about the same force that I applied to that Gucci bag, it does not collapse. So with what they've put in here, I think you're good to go, unless you just have to have a 1.2 millimeter thickness insert to keep it clean. But one of the questions I've been getting is about Colonel Carbon Pro and spraying this bag, or about protecting it. And I will spray this whole bag, and I probably will also hit it lightly on the inside with the Carbon Pro. I don't want to do it too heavily because it is hard to get in all the nooks and crannies, and I don't want to even attempt to get into all the nooks and crannies. You could end up with some staining if you over apply that product. So let me put both of these on the shoulder and then crossbody, and you can see what it looks like. So there it is on the shoulder. You can see the drop is almost the same. And there it is crossbody. The Gucci is slightly lower, but not by a lot. It is more comfortable though because of that leather break. So with regards to the price, the Gucci is way higher. I think these retail for around $2,500. You can pick them up pre-loved. I've seen them for $1,200 in excellent condition, depending on the color. So they are pricey, but if you buy them pre-loved, they're not as pricey as you might think. This bag, of course, retails for $550 plus tax. And so if you think of it in terms of you've got to pay full retail for this right now, it's actually sold out, but it probably won't go on much of a sale for a while. Then it's half the price of that Gucci, but this one, of course, is denim, and the denim is priced the same as the leather. A lot of folks have an issue with that. I don't really, because leather itself is not a super expensive material. Even when you buy the very nicest leather, it's still not super expensive. And neither is denim. I mean, denim's obviously cheaper, but in terms of the overall cost of the bag, you might be talking like $60 worth of leather versus $10 worth of fabric. And if you look at it like that, and the overall cost is $550 plus tax, it is, I don't know, it's just not enough of a difference that I'm worried about the price of the denim versus the price of the leather. Those are, of course, complete guesstimates on pricing for leather versus denim. I really have no idea. It's just a total guess. The thing that I've had impressed upon me, though, by watching Tanner Leatherstein, and I'll link him down below, is that the cost of leather on some of these high-end designer bags is very, 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 very tiny compared to the cost of the bag, and also pretty darn small compared to the cost of Coach bags as well. So when I got this St. Laurent Lulu puffer from the outlet in Chicago, one of the things that I did was compare it to two other bags that were exactly the same, and then I picked the one I ended up with. And the reason I picked this one is because of the color of the denim. So I am interested to see if there's any variation in the new one I get on Tuesday to this one in the coloring, because not all denim is created exactly alike. We may have a darker piece or a lighter piece, you just don't know. There is a fantastic video out there comparing the black leather quilted tabby 26 to the Chanel classic flap. So me trying to compare a leather classic flap to the denim tabby 26 that's quilted is just not really a fair comparison. But what I can do is do kind of a side-by-side to show you the construction. If you look at the flap on the Tabby 26, you can see that that second interior flap is just over that front pocket, while on the Chanel Classic flap, it's over that whole main compartment. And so that is different. And if you look at the size of the bags, the Tabby 26 is just maybe a hair longer. And that could be the puffiness of the denim, because I think from what I can tell in pictures, the denim is puffier on the sides than the leather version. The leather version of the Tabby 26 that's quilted looks like it's flatter, like this is on the side of the Chanel, and not quilted as much on the sides. But again, I haven't seen one of those in person, so this is just what I'm gathering from videos and photos that I've seen. Here is one more way that you can look at it in terms of a size comparison. Having the flap on the front pocket instead of over the whole thing, I do think makes it easier to get into the middle. Here is the pillow I got from Kings and Bag, and then there is also a new base shaper from Zumani that is felt instead of the one from M Boutique. And I'm just giving that a try. It fits in there nicely with that pillow for storage purposes. As you can see, this is one big compartment, and I do generally use an organizer inside as to minimize the amount of card holders and things like that. I do find that this bag is probably smaller in terms of capacity than both the Gucci and the Tabby 26. So that is it for installment number 2 on the Denim Tabby 26. I hope this information has been helpful. I will be coming at you with some more information in the near future when I get the replacement. Fingers crossed for me. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, what are you waiting for? Do it and ring the notification bell so that you are notified of future exciting content such as this. Also, go find me on Instagram. The name there's the same. It's the @ then the Handbag Housewife, all lowercase. You can DM me there, or you can email me at thehandbaghousewife@gmail.com. If I don't hear from you, I will see you again real soon. Take care and have a fabulous day. Bye.